How low can you go?
What is going on, everybody? Welcome to Gia's World. I'm going to do a review, basically my opinions on the 2015 State of the Union address that President Barack Obama gave today, January 20th, 2015. Number one, his main, seeming topic was everybody deserves a fair shot. And I really, truthfully believe that. I think everyone deserves a fair shot. Number one was our education system. I think people should be able to go to college free of charge, if not for a highly subsidized fee. Nobody should be going into debt to receive an education. I can speak to that personally. I owe $12.3 thousand of student loan debt for obtaining a bachelor's degree, and I'm going back to get my graduate degree and a master's in social sciences. I feel like nobody should go into debt for that. You're bettering your life. You're trying to be a part of the American society, of the world society, and you shouldn't be held back because you can't afford to go to school because you've made college astronomically expensive. Education should be accessible to everybody. Men, women, and children. Everyone in this world should have access to getting a quality education. Keyword quality, because a lot of people are like, well, you guys can already go to school for free, primary school, K through 12, but yeah, we have a lot of schools around this country and around this world where, yeah, it may be free or it may be accessible, but the quality is piss poor. Case in point, Flint, Michigan. Okay, the list goes on. Flint community schools are deplorable. They're horrible. That doesn't mean that, just because it's free doesn't mean that it's quality education. Another thing is parents, people who have children, should have access to preschool for their children. They shouldn't have to go and really go into debt or try to figure out if they're going to be able to pay their mortgage or are they going to be able to pay for preschool for the month. That should not be a discussion in the USA today. I mean, how can you be the richest country in the world, but people have to decipher on, how they're going to send their kids to college, or if they're going to take out loans, or if their children are going to have access to quality preschool and education. Preschool should be reasonable. College should be reasonable. Everyone should have access to it without going into financial hardship. Raising our minimum wage. I support it. Nobody in the United States of America, the richest country in the world, should be living in poverty. And that doesn't make sense. How can you be so wealthy and rich of a country, but then have millions of citizens living in poverty? How is that even fathomable? How is that even right, The proposal was to raise minimum wage from $7.25 to $9 an hour, which honestly, $9 an hour or $10 an hour, that's still poverty. Because there's people right now who make $9 an hour, $10 an hour, and they're struggling to make ends meet. They're living in poverty. Me personally, 3 degrees, still living at home, still in the same bedroom I was 10 years ago. 22, 3 degrees, and I only make $9 grand a year. I'm living in poverty technically. If it wasn't for my grandparents, I would be living in poverty, literally. And by my salary, I am living in poverty. I'm beneath the $15,000 threshold. So, yeah, minimum wage should be raised to a livable wage that increases with inflation, which his proposal was to raise it to $9 an hour, then eventually create a living wage that increases with the cost of living, which I support. Number 3 for me is really promoting social justice, freedom, and equality for every single man, woman, and child in this country and in this world. We need to get out of the homophobia, the sexism, the racism, the classism, the ageism, the able-bodyisms. We need to get out of the stereotypes and the discriminations, prejudice, and bigot practices that are keeping so many people behind. And, it's not right. Women deserve rights. People of color deserve rights. LGBTQ community deserves rights. We all deserve rights. It shouldn't matter what I look like or who I am or who I sleep with or what my religious or non-religious beliefs are. I am a human being and I should be treated as a human being. I deserve rights, you deserve rights. So social justice, equality, and freedom for all is something I stand by and I live by. I support that. Our student loan situation, honestly, I think student loans should be forgiven, because it's not right to sit up here and mortgage someone's future just so these freaking 1%ers and banks can become wealthy and live off the wealth of the suffering of others. That's ridiculous. I think student loan debt should be forgiven or slashed in half. There shouldn't be interest rates on student loans, in my opinion, and if they are, it should be no more than 2%. That's just my belief. That's just my opinion. Allowing people to attend community college for 2 years for free, I support. But it also means that we need to prepare people for college, meaning our K through 12 needs to be prepared. We need to implement practices and give K through 12 teachers and schools more funding so they can actually prepare people for collegiate studies. Because that's another thing, we're going to make, everyone is going to college for free for 2 years. We got to make sure they're prepared and they're not taking remedial classes when they go to college, because they should be prepared for college-ready courses and material. So, I feel like our education system is going to it needs to overhaul. It really does, because there's a lot of things wrong with it. But I support 2 years of free college, providing that you are ready for it and you're willing to work and get it done, graduate in a timely manner. And me personally, I went to community college. I got my 2 associate's degrees from Mott Community College right here in Flint, Michigan, for free on a full ride. And I kept over 3.4 the entire time. And I graduated, for 3.5 from U of M Flint. So I'm just stating how, it's possible, it's doable. And I think people who have education and have career-ready skills, that's what we should want in the USA, in the world at large. Supporting women's rights. I support women's rights. I support people of color, African Americans. First of all, I'm black. I'm African American, black descent, right? I'm a female. I'm a college goer. I have 3 degrees. I'm in the lower income salary setting. So of course I support these things, because I'm suffering from the inequalities around this. I live this, So I support women's rights. And if you have a problem with that, then you probably shouldn't be on this channel. Just being honest. I support people of color, African Americans, Latino, Hispanic, Asians, Native Americans. I support us. I support lower income, working class, working poor, middle class America. I support that, okay? I support LGBTQ. If you don't like what I'm saying, like I said, you shouldn't be on this channel. This is your time to leave. But, I honestly thought that a lot of what President Barack Obama had to say was good. Are there some moments where I don't agree with him? Yeah, there's a lot of moments, actually. But I see what he's trying to do. I support most of his policies, most of his ideas, most of his what he's trying to push. And like I said, I would love to see bipartisanship. I would love people to get off Democrat, Republican, and just start working for the better of the people, okay, of the citizens, okay. I would love to see that, instead of it just being this, my party over your party, elephants over donkeys, donkeys over elephants. I'm tired of all that. You need to be representing the American people, not banks and corporations that are sending jobs overseas and bankrupting this country. Now, he spoke about, our unemployment rate being at 5.8, 5.6%. And the thing is, that's great, but here in Flint, Michigan, we're not seeing that. We're still seeing people living in poverty, having issues finding suitable paying jobs, let alone full-time jobs. So, I'm ready to see what he's talking about locally. I'm quite sure people that are watching this video are probably thinking the same thing. We want to see the low unemployment rates and the job creation locally, not just, in America. No, because if you live in Flint, Detroit, Saginaw, Benton Harbor, Pontiac, you're probably not seeing, these low unemployment rates and everyone has a good paying job. Crap. We haven't seen that in like 30, 50 years. So, just being honest. But that's a quick review, recap of the State of the Union address from my opinion, from my viewpoint. I want to know what you think. Leave comments below. Also, follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and guess what? Tumblr! I made a Tumblr. Follow me. Awesome. It's great. Also, like me on Facebook at Gia's World. And I hope you guys leave comments because I love to communicate back and forth with my viewers. So, deuces.